TG Geeks, episode 20. May the 4th be with you, 2015. It's Star Wars Day. Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of geekdom and nerdery. Sci-fi, comics, film, horror genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane, your producer here at TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona.
And I'm Ben Raggington, also in becoming much warmer Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, let's hit the ground running because we've got a lot of ground to cover. Now, as the Hubble Space Telescope celebrates 25 years in space, NASA and its international partners are building an even more powerful tool to look deeper into the universe than ever before. The James Webb Space Telescope, that's the name, it's going to be 100 times more potent and powerful than Hubble. It will be launched in 2018 on a mission to give astronomers an unprecedented glimpse at the very first galaxies that formed in the early universe.
Wow.
This space telescope will be able to see back to about 200 million years after the Big Bang.
Oh my gosh.
Now when we say 200 million years, in terms of human relationships, yeah, that sounds like a really, really long time. But if you want to think about it in terms of the cosmos, that's just a blink.
It's a blip.
It's a blip. It just barely measures. So 200 million years after the Big Bang, I think that's pretty amazing. It's described the telescope as a powerful time machine with infrared vision that will peer back over 13.5 billion years to see the first stars and galaxies forming out of the darkness of the early universe. Now, this project has kind of gotten some scrutiny from due to its ballooning costs. I mean, it's now at about 8.8 billion, which is, yeah, that's a bit higher than the initial estimate of 3.5 billion.
A bit.
Just a tiny bit, but NASA has promised to keep the next generation telescope on track for its October 2018 launch. Now, there's lots of talk on this, and personally, I was really distressed, and I know you were too, when it was being announced that Hubble is being retired. We didn't think it was ready. I didn't know that this was scheduled to be its replacement.
Yeah.
So I'm really kind of excited about it because, Hubble really redefined what we know about space itself.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
So to have this new telescope come about, and the idea of being able to understand the universe itself, our place in the cosmos, I mean, to me, I find that really, really invigorating. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's wonderful. I hope that it can be as successful and even more successful than Hubble was, because Hubble it just blew us away. I mean,
completely.
The first images, my Lord.
Yeah, once Hubble was working correctly, I mean, the things that we saw on that were absolutely amazing. And who knows, with a telescope like this one, it might allow us to see maybe a galaxy far, far away from a long, long time ago. Oh. You think?
You think? Is that your intro to Star Wars?
That's, well, as we heard in the intro, yes, May the 4th, that is now. That is Star Wars Day. But, something that I think a lot of people may not kind of know is, how did that actually come about? Apparently, when you say, May the 4th be with you out loud, I mean, obviously you're going to hear a pun that Star Wars fans worldwide have turned into a rallying cry to proclaim their love of this space opera saga. I mean, it's the worldwide day to say, May the Force be with you to all, and of course we all want to celebrate the beloved Star Wars story that binds our galaxy together.
Yes.
But I did not know this. One of the earliest known records of May the 4th used in pop culture was in 1979, as described here by author Alan Arnold while he was chronicling the making of The Empire Strikes Back for Lucasfilm. Friday, May 4th. Margaret Thatcher has won the election and become Britain's first woman prime minister. To celebrate their victory, her party took half a page of advertising space in the London Evening News. This message, referring to the day of victory, was, "May the 4th be with you, Maggie. Congratulations." Further proof of the extent to which Star Wars has influenced us all. So once the internet allowed Star Wars fans around the world to connect with one another, May the 4th soon became a grassroots tradition each year, with fans online and offline proclaiming it Star Wars Day. So, no, May the 4th did not actually come from Lucasfilm, and it didn't necessarily come from the Star Wars fandom. It actually came from this congratulations towards the Iron Lady of Britain herself, Margaret Thatcher.
How about that?
I mean,
that's kind of screwy.
It is a bit screwy. I mean, I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to feel about that.
Well, who cares?
Yeah, I guess in the end, who really cares? I mean, maybe it was meant for Maggie, but we've co-opted it. We now own it.
Exactly. Why not?
So speaking all things Star Wars, I mean, as we said, it's May the 4th. There's a lot of Star Wars excitement that is going on right now.
It is Star Wars Day, of course.
It is Star Wars Day. There's lots to talk about. Of course, I'm sure by now, I would like to think that all of our listeners, everybody out there, you've seen the Star Wars trailer for Episode 7. I would certainly hope so.
It's an oh my gosh.
It's an oh my gosh. I mean, there's this beautiful, and I think I mentioned this in our last episode. There's this fantastic cartoon that just made me laugh. And you got this old curmudgeon-y guy looking at his computer. Oh, let's see what the new Star Wars trailer looks like. I'm probably going to hate it. And in the next caption, you see a little boy sitting in front of his computer with his Star Wars toys. And when I saw that, I mean, I thought, that's me. That is me. So if you haven't seen the Star Wars Episode 7 trailer, go out, look for it. You can probably, most likely, almost surely, you can find it. If not on YouTube, you can definitely find it at starwars.com.
Yes.
So while we're talking about trailers,
ooh, yes,
there was a trailer that was revealed first at the Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim a few weeks back. You can also see this at starwars.com. It is the trailer for the first of the anthology episodes, called Rogue One.
Oh my gosh.
This trailer absolutely flipped me out.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
It's just, I just was going to say read an article about the trailer and what it's supposed to represent. I didn't know what the film was supposed to be about, but it really is incredible.
The trailer is amazing. I mean, you hear the voice of Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan. So there's a line from Episode 4 where he's giving Luke just a little backstory on the Empire, and then I don't want to give away, but let's just say that the scenery opens up and shows something that just completely made the fans at the Star Wars Celebration and us as we watched it completely geek out in such a huge way.
Oh, wow. It was incredible. It was like, oh, no.
Yeah, that was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was a seriously big Star Wars nerd moment for us. So, yeah, that trailer is also available on StarWars.com. I would seriously recommend looking at it. This is the first trailer, so I can only imagine that as we get closer and closer, we're going to start seeing more details about this movie.
Yeah.
But we do have some information on it, so let's talk about that. The episode, or the movie, is being called Rogue One. It is a prequel to the original trilogy, or as you say, it's a prequel to Episode 4. So it's not like Episode 3. It doesn't set in that time zone of Revenge of the Sith. This takes place very shortly before the story of Episode 4. Now, the fans at the Star Wars Celebration, they were continuing to get their nuggets of information, and of course, everybody got a glimpse of the new episode, and it's being, I believe, directed by Gareth Edwards. Now, Rogue One will not be a film about people with the Force or the Jedi in general. Gareth Edwards has said, instead, it comes down to a group of individuals who don't have magical powers, I hate the way he says that, that have to somehow bring hope to the galaxy. Now, he did show a brief teaser for the film at the celebration, made with the cooperation of ILM. The movie has not officially started filming yet, so the footage that he showed at the Star Wars Celebration was just a little something to kind of tease the fans. And as we said earlier, the teaser that they did show starts with Obi-Wan's voiceover. The camera tracks over a jungle, and then, of course, there's a big, enormous surprise that comes in at the end.
Yeah.
Now, Felicity Jones, whose casting has already been announced, is going to play a rebel soldier involved in this mission. I can only imagine it has got something to do with the stealing of the Death Star technical specs.
Yeah, because we know that that's happened. And,
yes.
And this is apparently about that whole episode.
Yeah, I would imagine this is about that mission that Princess Leia alludes to, and those plans that she gives to R2 in the very beginning of Episode 4. This is about this mission to get their hands on those plans. Now, what we're getting here, to me, it sounds like we're actually getting, basically an old-fashioned war film.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me from the article that I read.
So I think I don't know. I'm actually kind of jazzed about it. I like the idea of us getting something that's completely different.
Right. I won't say disconnected, but
no,
not connected to. Well, and was he trying to say that those people in the regular Star Wars films are playing magic or something?
Yeah, the gap. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Whatever. No, but I again, like with what the Marvel movies have done, I like the idea that Star Wars is actually able to kind of not really focus on the Order of the Jedi and all the powers that the Jedis have. Right. I like the idea of being able to take the film, and even though it's still going to be a science fiction space opera kind of movie, the heart of it is going to be something entirely different from what we've had before. It's going to be a war film.
It's going to be about the mere mortals.
Yeah, something similar to like what we got early on in Empire Strikes Back. With the battle between the Empire and the rebels on Hoth. I mean, that had good classic World War II trench warfare kind of going on.
Right.
It could have been something out of Patton almost. So I'm really excited about it now. I think it could be a really good film.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about the anthology series, and that's supposed to be a trilogy, and these are all little side stories that split off from the main 9 movies now that we will have. The second standalone Star Wars film, it's not going to be directed by Josh Trank after all. In a post on StarWars.com, the filmmaker writes that, and I quote, "After a year of having the incredible honor of developing with the wonderful and talented people at Lucasfilm, I'm making a personal decision to move forward on a different path." Now, the untitled film that Trank had been working on was to be the second of the Star Wars anthology films, a series of standalone movies that will be kicking off with Rogue One next year. However, he was conspicuously absent from the Star Wars Celebration event last month. Trank and Rogue One director Gareth Edwards had been slated to be part of a joint panel billed Conversations with Gareth Edwards and Josh Trank on the final day of the convention. However, at the beginning of the event, it was announced that Trank wouldn't be part of the panel because he had gotten unexpectedly ill. Instead, the panel delved more deeply into Gareth Edwards' own Star Wars fandom and divulged the first public images about Rogue One. So yes, now they are looking for a new director. Now, before we recorded, I just saw another story that Lucasfilm actually fired Josh Trank because apparently, now he's also very much involved in the reboot of Fantastic Four, and there were stories coming from 20th Century that he was not the easiest person to work with. So there's some new stories coming out that Lucasfilm decided they didn't want to have him. So we'll have to wait. I know. Drama. Yeah, so we're going to have to wait and see how that's going to play out. But I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if J.J. Abrams is already throwing his hat in the ring saying, me, 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 me.
Me, me, me.
Yeah.
Me, 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 me.
Me, 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 me. Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer, but, well, we'll just have to wait and see how that all goes.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay.
If you see a metal ball by the side of a door, you are 15 clicks to the...
Now it's time for the misadventures of Duke and John. Let's check in with them on Tatooine.
You're listening to Lynx YO Radio.
Oh, not that Bantha Poodoo again. Oh, I can't imagine why anybody wants to listen to that. Okay, let's get this Craigslist article started. All right. Imperial 2 class Star Destroyer, parentheses, Mad River, paint color gray, fuel, other, transmission, other, title status salvage, cylinders, other, condition, fair. Now, selling a slightly used Imperial 2 class Star Destroyer. Previously, parentheses, slightly, owned by a navigator of a spice freighter, this vessel has been sitting on my moisture farm and needs to be removed before next year's harvest. I just haven't had time to give this classic the attention it deserves, and my loss is someone else's gain. 1,600 meters in length, this bad boy has a maximum atmospheric speed of 975 kilometers per hour and an acceleration of less than 2,300 G. It's got a Class 2 hyperdrive system still in working order with a backup Class 8 SFS I-A2B solar ionization reactor is in good shape to excellent shape. KDY Destroyer ion engine turns over on first try, but may need a new serpentine belt. As you can see by the picture provided, the deflector shield generator domes are intact. This is a state-of-the-art ISD 72X. Fully equipped with Lagrange targeting computers, heavy ion cannons, Phylon Q7 tractor beam projectors, leather bucket seats, and a 15-disc CD changer. 36,000 tons of cargo capacity, this beauty was run with a crew of 37,085, but you can pull it off with a minimum of 5,000, leaving you plenty of room to pack in a few extra AT-AT walkers, TIE fighters, prefabricated garrison bases, Lambda-class shuttles, yards of soil, spool after spool of pipe, and jet skis. This superstructure is perfect for long road trips with a family, discovering new galaxies, picking up girls for dates, and general destruction of your enemies. Have you ever seen what a Star Destroyer can do to the surface of an unshielded planet? Stones run like water and sand turns to glass. With just a little TLC, this baby can be good as new. Brand new, this beauty of the skies runs about 145,670,000 credits, but due to some carbon scoring, I can be flexible on the price. Realistically, I just need it removed from my property, so all offers or trades will be considered. Make me an offer, no mind tricks. first come, first served basis. You are responsible for towing. Do not contact me with unsolicited services or offers.
You're listening to Links YO Radio.
Good grief, they sure love to play that thing a lot. What? This guy is crazy. He's getting a piece of my mind. Now, where did I find that Craigslist thing? Oh, here it is. Buyer beware. Imperial 2 class Star Destroyer, $1. Odometer 9999999999999999. It won't let me put any more nines in. Fuel, other, transmission, other, title status, parts only. Condition, salvage. Just wanted to make sure people are aware that this is a total scam. I drove all the way out there to look at this thing, and the guy wanted a huge deposit before he'd even let me take it for a spin. After looking around a bit, I'd be surprised if this thing could even finish the Kessel Run, let alone do it in a decent time. It's totally infested with roaches and womp rats, so when you figure the cost of a 6.2 trillion cubic foot fumigation job, this thing is a total write-off for that reason alone. I know it's had sand people in it, but all the tracks are single file, so who knows how many have been in there and what parts they've ripped off. You can't even get this thing licensed in most states until you remove all 384 turbo lasers, and the ion cannons will have to be retrofitted to low-capacity magazines. Thanks, Obama. And there's no way this thing is ever going to pass emissions. The carbon scoring has conveniently made the serial numbers unreadable, so I can't even verify what model year this thing is. But I suspect that it's the year that no one wants because there weren't any handrails on the control deck. The whole open bridge thing was a terrible idea. It's like the Pontiac Aztec of Star Destroyers. So save yourself a trip. The guy just wants this crap off his farm but doesn't want to pay the Jawas to haul it away. Believe me, this isn't the Star Destroyer that you are looking for. Okay, we want to thank the original posters of those Craigslist ads that spawned this sketch. It was brilliant, and I just had to do a sketch about it.
I mean, just looking at the ad alone, the fake ad was, well, actually, I think it was a real ad, was hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was perfect. So
it was brilliant.
Thank you to whoever it was that posted those original Craigslist ads. We used them, and thank you.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to do some selected birthdays for May 4th through May 10th. May 4th, Star Wars Day. Just for the heck of it, Audrey Hepburn was born in 1929, and Pia Zadora, 1956. On May 5th, Adele. She's 26. Her Skyfall was a hearkening back to the classic Bond-era song.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Thank you, Adele.
I love that. It was great. Also on May 5th was John Rhys Davies, is 70. Pat Ursula Carroll is 87. Michael Palin, 71. Lance Henriksen is 74. My gosh,
busier than ever.
Yeah, it looked like he had 16 projects in post-production for 2015. It's like, my God, when do you eat and sleep?
I don't think he does.
And also, last on May 5th, Roger Rees is 70. May 6th, Orson Welles would have been 100. And Sigmund Freud was born in 1856. Now, on May 7th, David Tomlinson of Mary Poppins fame, among others, would have been 98. Darren McGavin, Night Stalker. He would have been 92 on May 7th. May 8th, guess what? Stephen Amell, he's 33.
Go. Go, 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 go.
The Arrow. Yes, on May 9th, Rosario Dawson is 35. Do you recognize that name?
Yes, I do, actually.
Claire from Daredevil.
Ah.
Also, on May 9th, Howard Carter was born in 1873. He was the archaeologist that discovered the tomb of Tutankhamun.
Oh.
And thus spawned all the mummy movies in later years.
Yeah.
So, also, May 10th, David O. Selznick, born in 1902. the movie producer that brought us the original King Kong in 1933. Just one of 16 films he produced that year.
Whoa! He produced 16 films in 1 year?
In 1 year.
Well, Hollywood, it was a different business back then, but
certainly
still,
was.
that's really, I mean, that's
Yeah.
more than one movie a month.
Exactly, and King Kong among them. He also produced Gone with the Wind. That was later on. So.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, there's
No,
no way. He
no.
couldn't have done Gone with the Wind in 1902, no.
No, not 1933.
1933, no.
Anyway, but that is the birthdays for May 4th through May 10th.
Technorama, the podcast for geeks, because geeks are better than cool. You don't hear someone say, "Get away from me, you cool person." Who's gonna have their 65-inch home theater system installed by the Cool Squad? Not me, that's for sure. How much cool cred do you have? Not enough to care about. Think you'll find any canned unicorn meat at thinkcool.com? It's just a part domain name. They don't even have roadkill in a paper cup. That's why you need to start listening to Technorama, because that's what geeks do. Go to chuckchat.com and listen to Technorama before you turn cool.
If you haven't had a chance, go on over to chuckchat.com and check out Technorama. Also on their YouTube channel, Technorama Podcast. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We participate occasionally.
Yeah.
Actually, their 10th anniversary episode is up there right now on YouTube. Check it out. All right, now it's time for some listener feedback. We've actually been a little remiss in some of our listener feedback, and we apologize about that. But we do want to give a shout out to Crazy Joe, our friend over at Megapodzilla, on a Facebook post about the Hollywood Reporter exposing faults in DC Comics movies. His comment to that was, "Easy recipe for success. Hire Bruce Timm or Paul Dini or both to play the role of DC's Kevin Feige." How about that?
Leave it to Joe to come up with something like that.
Yeah, they need somebody over there anyway.
Oh, well, and he's absolutely right. Yeah, it's Joe and I we've had this conversation before, and he's absolutely spot on correct on this.
Yeah, thanks to Joe for all of his support in so many different
Absolutely.
ways. And second person that is always a great one for commenting for us is Brian Weber, a.k.a. Arkle. He posted on our YouTube episode number 19. He says, "My reaction to the Terminator trailer reveal, no, bad writers. You go sit in the corner and think about what you've done." We want to give a special thank you to Arkle for being such a faithful commenter. He's just been commenting on everything. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
And we've been remiss in giving you a shout out about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to comment on our Facebook page, TG Geeks, on our YouTube episodes, TG Geeks, our YouTube channel, or at tggeeks.com, you could receive a shout out on a future episode. Or you could call our listener line, feedback line, and we will play a comment on air. 469-TG-GEEKS. That's 469-844-3357. And a special note for you, if you have Skype, if you're a Skype user, you can look us up on Skype. We are TG Geeks, all run together. Send us a request for an ad. We'll add you, and then you can call us on Skype and leave a voicemail for us at that time. Now, for the second stories.
Now, as we said earlier, there was a big, enormous Star Wars celebration that happened a couple of weeks ago in Anaheim at their convention center. And Star Wars, it's always been about family. And it's often shared by families, even behind the scenes. And in a backstage interview with James Arnold Taylor and StarWars.com, at this very celebration, Mark Hamill was there, and he discussed some newly unearthed photos from his family's own collection. Now, these photos show Hamill, often in costume as Luke, with his wife Marilu and son Nathan during the film of Return of the Jedi, visiting such iconic sets as the Emperor's throne room, Yoda's hut, and more. And the pictures are really cute.
They are.
I mean, there's like a little picture of Nathan inside the R2-D2 body. There's a picture of Nathan next to the actual Yoda puppet, and that one of the whole family inside Yoda's hut. And I if I'm not sure, I would think that Nathan actually looks smaller than Yoda. And a great picture of Luke himself sitting on the Emperor's throne inside the Death Star. There's some really, really great pictures. Just go to StarWars.com to check those out. They're highly amusing.
Yeah, they're cute.
So now, of course, with all things Star Wars, there had to be items to be bought. There was this, through the Star Wars website, Revenge of the Savings, known as the Star Wars Day Deals Guide. And yes, of course, the weather's getting warmer, or not, depending on where you live. Graduations loom, and the power of the Force is in the air. Yes, it's May the 4th, Star Wars Day. It's time to celebrate your love of Star Wars with parties, movie screens, and deals that would make Watto proud. And they've got all sorts of things. There's some of them, like there's a Star Wars Angry Birds edition.
Oh my Lord!
I would almost want to get that. If you
you don't play games.
No, I don't play games, but I would own it anyway because it's Star Wars. And if you visit Hallmark between April 27th and May 5th, you can have a chance to see send a free Star Wars Day e-card.
How about that?
How awesome is that? Or receive 20% off a personalized Star Wars greeting card. You can get Star Wars second edition headphones and get T-shirts along with that. There's all sorts of things, models. There's a Star Wars candy machine with M&Ms in them, no less.
Gumball, yeah. An M&M's machine, gumball.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. So there's like a myriad of Star Wars products that can be purchased anywhere from like 20% to 30% off. In many cases, they've got free shipping. Just all you got to do is just go to StarWars.com to look for those deals yourself.
Yeah, I think there was one. It was like what is it called? Official Pix or something? Official PIX, and they have Star Wars Day logo on some of the official photos taken from Star Wars films.
Ooh, nice. And yeah, if you're one of those high-end collectors, that could be something that could be, like if you put in a wall or something like that.
Yeah, really they were pretty cool.
Now, of course, Star Wars Day, this has been celebrated for some time now, and while in San Francisco there was a big exhibit where a lot of items went on sale 2 years ago, many of these items are still available if you want to get your hands on them. There's all sorts of things like at Disneyland. Now, Disney loves to sell pins. They got into the whole pin trading, pin collection business, and we're not going to talk about the myriad of pins that we own.
Oh my gosh.
I know, but among them, there are a huge host of Star Wars pins. Some of them kind of serious, but most of them with a lot of mirth to them. One that I'm looking at right now, it's a picture of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch in Yoda clothing. And another one where he is the Emperor and Goofy is playing Darth Vader. All sorts of things. USB pins, USB connectors that look like Astro Droids. All sorts of stuff. To get these things, all you got to do again is just check out StarWars.com and look for those items yourself. There's some really, really great stuff there.
Star Wars is huge.
Yeah.
For 40 years now.
Yeah. So, since Star Wars is so huge and has been around for so long, there's one thing that people really love is trivia.
Who doesn't love trivia?
Who doesn't love good trivia? And everybody, especially if you're a complete fanatic.
Like my husband.
Well, you two to a point.
Well, yeah.
Everybody likes to kind of prove, well, I'm the bigger Star Wars fan by knowing more trivia than anybody else.
Yes.
And Star Wars.
Even the useless kind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of which I've yet to find any way to parlay into profit. But once again, at StarWars.com, there was
where do diamonds come from?
Don't even ask. I have no idea. I think they're from someplace in Australia. There was a trivia page put up at StarWars.com, and it's all about how well do you know your Star Wars quotes. And I'm not going to go into all of them. There are 10 of them on the page, but I will give one of them, and I'm going to ask my husband to see if he knows what it is. The quote is, "Laugh it up, fuzzball. Who said it? Was it Princess Leia, Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, or Jar Jar Binks?
Really? You're going to ask me that question? Of course it was Han Solo.
Of course it was Han Solo. Now, that was the first question.
It's like, what?
I know. That's like, what does Superman have on his chest?
Exactly.
Really.
An equal sign.
Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. He's no longer Superman. He's the Equalizer.
Oh God.
Sorry, that one just came to me.
Okay.
I could only hope that the questions get harder. I haven't looked at them yet. I'll probably do it a little bit later. But again, all you got to do is go to StarWars.com and find that quiz for yourself. See how good of a quiz master
We've
you
already
really
given
are.
you the answer to the first one if you needed it.
Yeah. Now,
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
yeah, laugh it up, fuzzball. Exactly. Now, people may know that a couple of years ago, Lucasfilm shut down their gaming division. Of course, since that time, Disney bought Lucasfilm, and what are they doing? They're reinvigorating that whole gaming division. And of course, Disney had their own little gaming thing going on with something called Disney Infinity, and now it looks like Star Wars is coming to Disney Infinity in news that should surprise no one. It appears that the Star Wars characters will soon be part of the Toys to Life series Disney Infinity. Now, they haven't made this long-anticipated news official just yet, but a retailer has leaked what looks like to be the starter set for the new game. Now, just like Skylanders, Disney Infinity is a game that lets you scan real toys into a video game. Now, the first version mashed together characters from Disney movies, while version 2.0 added Marvel characters. Star Wars has long been expected to be the latest edition, and designer Jeff Bunker even hinted at telling The Verge, "I think we have a style that accommodates anything that comes our way." And the 3.0 set leaked by retailer Saturn shows a set that includes toys based on both Anakin Skywalker and Clone Wars star Ashoka Tano for €69.99. Now, it's not clear when the game will launch or on what platforms, but with a new slate of movies on the way, it's really a safe bet that this is a good time that another Star Wars game could be coming out. There's also supposed to be a reboot of the Battlefront series, and that's launching in November. The Toys to Life category of games, it's attracted a number of big names, and with good reason. Skylanders has become a $3 billion franchise since its debut. In addition to Disney, both Lego and Nintendo have attempted to replicate the success with their own lines of plastic video game toys. And again, Keith was right. I'm not much of a gamer, but this was enough to make me kind of sit up and say, ooh, that looks interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could collect the toys.
Yeah, I could see
without
myself
having the game.
Right. I could see myself really getting kind of into that.
Yeah.
Now, lastly, because Star Wars is such a big hot thing, I love the kind of synergy that takes place here. Star Wars is owned by Disney. What else is owned by Disney? Marvel. Marvel is owned by Disney. So, of course, Marvel has decided that they're going to pay respects to Star Wars by slicing off arms a la Luke Skywalker. Or actually, Luke lost his hand. It was Anakin that lost his arms.
Yeah.
Or arm. Now, the Star Wars and Marvel movies, they have a lot in common. Both brands are owned by Disney. Both were among the biggest box office successes of their time. And both inspire and build upon rich and detailed backstories, which is something that I really love. Universe building. But there's one other thing that connects them. As Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige recently explained to Cinema Blend, Maimings! Yay! Let's hear it for the Maimings!
Maimings.
Every movie in the comic book company's Phase 2, from Iron Man 3 to the still unreleased Ant-Man, will see a character lose an arm in deliberate homage to Star Wars. Feige, who is obsessed with Star Wars, said that the tribute, he wasn't deliberate at first, but became intentional when the studio realized the connection. George Lucas's movie series is rife with enforced amputations. Luke Skywalker loses a hand to Darth Vader, who in turn loses one to his son after having lost most of his limbs lopped off by Obi-Wan Kenobi. And just for good measure, Revenge of the Sith antagonist Count Dooku and Jedi Master Mace Windu, played by Samuel L. Jackson, also had their hands removed by lightsaber. So, just for fun...
Was that a Jedi? Lightsaber? Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Just the way you said it.
I'm sorry. I got nothing. So, let's kind of... Yeah, and I did not put together a list. We're kind of going to do this out of our heads here. Now, Kevin Feige said, or at least the article said, that the first Phase 2 film was Iron Man 3. I think I already know who... I cannot remember the character's name, but he's the one who touted himself as being the real Mandarin. He was the one who... He was the real villain.
Yeah,
played by Guy Pearce.
Yeah, shoot.
Him.
Shoot.
The name's like on the tip of my tongue, but oh well. Yeah. Anyway, he loses an arm at one point, but because he's all kind of like enhanced and everything, with Extremis, he merely regenerates it. So that's not a big problem. After Iron Man 3, what did we get?
Is that Winter Soldier?
Or I'm wondering if it was a Thor 2.
Was it Thor 2?
I'm wondering if it wasn't... if it was Thor 2, it must have been one of the Dark Elves.
Yeah, I bet it was pretty Thor about that.
Oh, brum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Where is it? There we go.
Yeah.
I found it.
Exactly. So, okay, I take it back. Here is the list. Yeah, so the second one was Thor Dark World. Not sure who that was. I want to say it's one of the elves. I don't think any of our heroes lost a limb. I'm ashamed to admit that I don't remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember. But for the rest of these, I do. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Remember who lost an arm there?
No.
It's in the title. The Winter Soldier.
Captain America.
No.
Oh.
Bucky.
Oh.
Bucky loses an arm. His arm gets
the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Bucky loses an arm as part of his procedure to become the Winter Soldier. So there's that one. Then there was Guardians of the Galaxy. This one's a cheat.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is a cheat. I mean, yeah, he loses an arm, but he grows it back.
You idiot.
You idiot. It'll grow right back.
Oh, it must have been I am Groot.
Absolutely. And then lastly, we have Avengers, Age of Ultron, and that would be the character played by Andy Serkis, who I think he goes by the name of Claw. He loses an arm, compliments of Ultron.
Yeah, that was pretty grim.
A bit. It was a bit fast, too. So, and this seems like a perfect opportunity to then discuss something that we saw last night, and that is...
That bottle of wine?
No, not the wine.
Oh, not the wine.
Not the wine.
Not
you
the
had
wine.
You had a different wine than I did.
Not the one. Why?
No. You had a white, I had a red, remember?
Oh, yes.
No, it was Avengers Age of Ultron.
Oh, that old thing?
Old, yeah. It's only been out mere days, and it's already old.
It was incredible, actually.
Yes, we got to see that last night, and for anybody who wants to know what my thoughts are, they can check out my review at tggeeks.com. But I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit, Keith. What was your thought of the film?
I thought it was incredible. It pulled me in from the very beginning. It was very well paced. Even, I won't, no spoilers, but there was right in the middle, there is a somewhat slow point, but it doesn't bring you out of the story. It's there to give you a breather, but very well paced. Everything was incredible. There's lots of humor that don't take you out of the story. It's appropriate humor, and it's appropriate for the characters, the humor that they put in this film. And I thought it was very well placed. Just an incredible film. Great story. As with all of the films, it has somewhat of a moral to the story. as all the comic book stories did. They have some kind of moral. They're writing either about current events or whatever's going on at the time. They have a story, and it's all about seeking the high ground, if you will. So seeking what's best for humanity.
So there's a bit of a morality play going on.
Exactly.
What were your thoughts on some of the characters? I mean, and in terms of their development. I mean, you've been following these movies alongside with me since they first came out. What is your thought in terms of how they've progressed since the first time we've seen them? I mean, did you detect any progression in them?
Absolutely.
Or any growth?
A lot of growth in all of them. And we get to see some real depth to these characters, especially in this one series of scenes, and I'm not, once again, no spoilers, but they do face their own demons, if you will, in this film, and come around to what is best for mankind. So we've seen a lot of growth in all of the characters.
And I would think that's a good thing for this saga.
Yeah, absolutely. It does kind of end on a little bittersweet, because obviously we know that Civil War is coming, but
Good point.
It's kind of bittersweet because we see the breakup of the team in essence.
Was there a favorite moment for you?
Probably to see the no longer disembodied voice of Jarvis.
Ah. Okay, actually, that was a really cool moment.
Yeah,
won't go into any further detail, but
Nope.
Yeah, people, check it out. If you haven't seen Age of Ultron yet, run
to the theater.
Run to the theater. I mean, I don't want to go into detail as to what I said or what I thought about the film. Like I said, you can check out my review at tggeeks.com. I will simply say I liked it, and I'm encouraging people to see it.
Absolutely.
So since we're on the whole Marvel thing, I want to briefly throw this one last bit out, and this is a question.
This is really distressing.
It is distressing. Now, I cannot corroborate this story. The source is dubious at best, but I read about half an hour before we started recording that Agent Carter was canceled.
I think that's the worst decision ever.
If it is true. So we're throwing this out to all of our listeners out there.
We want to know. If you know something, please let us know.
Yes, please do.
If you have good sources, if you have any sources that say anything, we would appreciate knowing about it, because we really liked Agents of Carter, or Agent. Agent
we keep
Carter.
Doing that.
We liked Agent Carter.
Yes.
I think that there's still a lot of story to be told there.
Oh, there's a ton of story to be told there. Obviously, I mean, there's still the formation of S.H.I.E.L.D. that needs to happen, and the incredible role that Peggy Carter has got to play in that. Yes, there's a lot to be told there, and Haley Atwell does an amazing job at being this incredibly strong female personality in a time where women were very much second class at best in society. So the show has has a huge amount to offer still. So as we said, if anybody out there knows anything regarding its return or its cancellation, please let us know.
Yep. And that we really would like to know something for sure about that. It may come out this week. We're getting close to
We're getting very close to the ABC upfronts.
Yeah. So we would like to know.
Yep.
Before anybody else does.
Yeah. We want to be the ones to break the news.
Obviously, yes. Anyway. All right. This has been our episode 20. Can you believe we've done 20 episodes already?
Woohoo!
It's been quite a ride. We thank everybody for listening, and we thank you for listening to this episode 20 on Star Wars Day. So that should just about do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Remember, you can comment on Facebook or our website, tggeeks.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. From TG Squared Studios, I am Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. I bid you peace.
May the 4th be with you.